Hands off left side to Marlin. Max stretching it out, jumps towards the pylon. He's in. Touchdown.
Yeah. Give me some of that. Let's go. Let's keep it on him. Keep it on him.
Lofts into the back of the end zone. It's Dontrell Inman. Touchdown. Touchdown for the Colts.
Don't get cocky. We've got a long way to go. All right, let's go, D. Fourth down now. Stop.
Backing to throw is Watson. It's incomplete. The Colts again come up big on defense.
In playoff football, how do you win games? You dominate up front. Let's go. Horseshoe is back, baby. The horseshoe is back.
From the Huntington Bank studio, this is Colts 365.
Well, the horseshoe is back in the playoffs. It's always fun. These have been fun to be coming into the show off of a win.
So exciting. It's so exciting. It's so exciting.
It's awesome. That game in Houston, they kind of got to have like a walk-off win. They're at the end. They've the last two games in Tennessee and then in Houston, you knew they were going to win. Yes. It wasn't hard on our hearts. We knew that the Colts were going to win and move to the next round. It was nice.
And by far the best performance of the season.
Yeah, definitely. We are definitely going to get to that. I'm Caroline Can, joined by Marlin Jackson. The Colts moving on to Kansas City later this afternoon. But let's talk a little bit about that Houston game because it really sets them up for this game in Kansas City. You mentioned how dominant they were. We're going to talk about the offensive line a little bit later. But they knew what they were doing in Houston because they had been there before. They had played in Houston. They have not played in Kansas City. How much does that change the way that this young Colts team is approaching this week?
Well, I mean, that provides some uncertainty. But what you said, this young team, and when you're young, you can be a bit ignorant. Okay. So we're going to say right now, ignorance is bliss.
I love that.
And not understanding what we're going into as far as the environment. And then even just not facing a quarterback at this level with Patrick Mahomes and the weapons that he has at his disposal, it adds another threat, another level of competition. But this team is young and extremely confident, playing our best game last week in all facets of the game, prepares us to go in and play well this weekend, in my opinion.
Yeah, well, the Kansas City Chiefs, they had that bye, and a lot of people kind of talk about, is it good to have the bye?
Nope.
Is it not good?
Nope.
Yeah, I love it. I love that the Colts are able to get their first playoff win underneath their belt, move on now, and you mentioned Patrick Mahomes. There are a lot of great players, these two great teams. There are 8 teams left playing in the NFL, so there's a ton of wonderful talent on the field. But Patrick Mahomes, he's special.
He's special.
He's a rookie, and he's not up for Offensive Rookie of the Year. No, they've moved him past that. He's up for MVP. 50 touchdown passes, over 5,000 yards. Have the Colts faced anyone like Patrick Mahomes up to this point?
Well, I don't know if there's anybody as far as, ever National Football League with the level of arm talent. We've seen no-look passes, really a rocket laser arm, literally. The accuracy is off the charts. Just the scheme with the play calling, it's on another level. So this is the toughest challenge that we've had to date. But, it's going to be key to get pressure. And with that pressure, having consistent coverage, tight coverage in the back end. It's really going to be a mix of rush and coverage this week that's going to allow us to neutralize Patrick Mahomes because he's on fire and he's extremely confident right now. He feels like he can make each and every throw across the football field. And when you have a guy like that, he's extremely dangerous. He takes chances, but it can also play into our hand as well and create some turnovers.
We've talked a lot this season about the Colts secondary and how they've been this secret weapon for the defense because we've had a lot of people get after the quarterback up front. They've been able to stop the run. But what we've seen from this secondary could pose a lot of problems for Patrick Mahomes in that offense. But let's not forget who the stars, I'm going to say who the stars have been for this Colts team. And we're going to flip the script to the offensive side of the ball. And that offensive line, they have quite the opportunity ahead of them as far as what the Kansas City Chiefs defense is like in the run game. But let's not forget there are 4 players for the Kansas City Chiefs who have 6 or more sacks. One of them has 15.5 just himself. So when you look at this defensive front against the Colts offensive line, what do you like, what do you not like?
I like the Colts offensive line. I think it's a favorable matchup because I think one thing we know about the Chiefs is that they usually get out to a lead, right? And when you get out to a lead, teams have to pass the football to stay in the game. So you pin your ears back as a defensive line and you just rush the passer. But we're a balanced football team. And we're balanced because of that offensive line that we have right now. And they open up holes in the running game, which will wear down that defensive line, soften them up, and won't allow them to get off the football as fast, which will help us. And then also, I believe, along with the offensive line, the combination of Andrew Luck and his pocket awareness. I don't know if you've watched him the last few weeks. There were a few times where Houston got close, got him off his tilt, but he was able to feel the pressure, slide or roll out, and continue to extend the play. So it is up to the offensive line. And this combination, I think you mentioned this combination that we'll have this weekend, they haven't given up a sack.
No.
And they're extremely confident because they shut down J.J. Watt last week, right? There were a ton of pancakes sandwiches last week, right?
There were so many across. This has been so fun to watch the national media start to take note of this offensive line and show how many times Quentin Nelson just put someone
Have you ever seen Jadeveon Clowney
on the ground?
Be manhandled. It is so impressive to see. And it's not just one guy, it's the teamwork, it's the communication, it's with protections. Everything is on point from Ryan Kelly, the center, to our guards, to our tackles. Everybody's playing extremely well right now, and then we have a quarterback that's extremely capable.
Yeah, well, this offensive line, they have been stealing headlines all across the NFL, but like we mentioned before, Patrick Mahomes has been on top of these headlines for this entire season, that MVP type of talk. And here's what the locker room had to say this week about facing the talent of Mahomes.
They take a lot of shots. They get the ball in space a lot, so it'll make you have to tackle in open field. They have a lot of guys that can make plays, so it makes the quarterback's job a lot easier to get the ball in space and get them to your playmakers. And don't get me wrong, he's a great quarterback. He makes great throws every play. So, when you throwing in space and your guys are making people miss, that's what makes the offense go.
He's fun to watch. He certainly creates some amazing plays, but he also makes the routine and the simple plays. So I think his ability to really make every throw, to do the simple things well, to do the amazing things well. It's fun to watch. Certainly, it's been fun to watch on TV, and hopefully we don't see too much of it, when we're playing them.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
Oh
Love that. Love that.
One says the right stuff and the other Jack Yak, but together they are our good luck charms. Coming up next, Joe Reitz and Jack Mewhort make another playoff appearance on Colts 365. And this time the two discuss the disruptive Chiefs pass rush and if Chris Ballard's history in KC could give the Colts an advantage. It is Joe and Jack together next.
Colts fans, be sure to visit Colts.com to view the most recent feature of Instant Access, presented by Salesforce. Connect with your customers in a whole new way at Salesforce.com.
Where do I go for personal service?
That's local? Easy.
IMCU, Indiana Members Credit Union. For car or home loans, or even credit cards, I get expert guidance
from someone I know and trust.
The service and advice are always excellent.
We've been IMCU members for years, and we will be for life.
Right now, you can get up to $1,000 off closing costs on 15-year fixed and adjustable rate mortgages at Indiana Members Credit Union.
For all your lending needs, choose
IMCU, Indiana Members Credit Union.
At Papa John's, when it comes to better ingredients, better pizza, we deliver. And now, in addition to delivering a pizza topped with quality ingredients like real meats with no fillers, fresh sliced Roma tomatoes, onions, and green peppers, and fresh, never frozen hand-tossed original dough, we're delivering even more value with this special offer.
The Colts Fan Feast. 2 large, 2-topping pizzas and a 2-liter for $22. Promo code BLUE22. 10% of discounted price donated to Riley Children's Foundation.
From the Huntington Bank Studio, this is Colts 365.
Well, having these two on set last week seemed to work out for us. So we have Jack Mewhort and Joe Reitz back on the desk, although I'm calling you out because you said you were going to get a bigger mug than we have here with the Joe Reitz mug with Jack Yak on it.
And my merch guy got caught up, had a little bit of a snag on that one. I promise next time when we go 1-0 again this week, when the Colts go 1-0 again this week, there will be a Jack Yak mug.
I do like the shirts. That was Jack's brainchild. You know, the Colts organization, gracious to send some to us and some former guys.
So who sent the text first as far as you guys showing up? Because you know you did. You talked about this beforehand. Whose idea was it to show up in the match?
It was a teamwork, joint effort. You know why?
Why?
Teamwork makes the dream work.
Oh
Love that. Love
As
that.
demonstrated by the Colts last week in Houston.
Exactly. Looking to go 1-0 again this week in Kansas City.
Jack is gunning for my job as host. He wanted to bring us in on this show, but I'm still going to handle that. But good job getting us to the next topic there to talk about Houston teamwork. It was a collective unit that won out there the first half. Super exciting. Second half for the offense. They didn't score any points, but Angel Luck was clean the whole game. Talk about it.
And I would say, while the second half we didn't score any points, we were effective. We had 5 drives in the second half. The last one, the 4-minute drive, was awesome because when you get the ball back and they got it back with 4:09 left, the goal of 4 minutes is to finish the game with the ball in your hands. We did that. We broke their will. Marlon Mack, running for 15, running for 26. And while we didn't score any points in those 5 drives I mentioned, we only had 1 3 and out. So while we weren't scoring, we were getting first downs, we were moving the ball, we were flipping field position, making it hard on their offense, and we were playing complementary football, which you have to do to win in the playoffs.
We're moving on to Kansas City now, who has 4 players that have 6 or more sacks. One of them has 15.5 by himself. So when you look at this defensive front, what makes you nervous about this Kansas City team? Does anything make you nervous defensively?
I would be nervous if Joe Reitz and Jack Mewhort were marching out to block these guys, but we're not.
I'll be really nervous.
And this unit that the Colts have going right now on the offensive line, nothing makes me nervous right now the way these guys are playing. And
yeah, I mean, they're as good as O-line as anybody in football, and they'll play like it. But Kansas City does that. They lead the NFL in sacks. The guy you mentioned, Chris Jones, who's a defensive end, has 15.5 sacks, had a sack in 11 straight games, which is an NFL record. I mean, they got some guys. Dee Ford is a really good pass rusher, made his first Pro Bowl. But I think it's all about execution. It's all about us staying on schedule. Part of the reason they lead the NFL in sacks is because their offense is so good, and they've gotten up on people 14, 20 points. And then, the D-line can pin their ears back because they know it's going to be a pass every time. So for me, it's all about the formula the last couple weeks we had in Tennessee and Houston. Get off to a good start. We went down 2 drives in both those games, got up 14-0, and then we really controlled the game. To me, that's a big key for our offense to score early, stay on schedule, and not fall behind these guys. That's when the pass rushers can let loose.
I think the Colts are going to have to score a lot of points. Excuse me. I think the Kansas City offense is very impressive. I mean, you look at these All-Pro lists, these Pro Bowl lists, it's got Chiefs all over it. It's a high-powered, fun offense to watch, and they score a lot of points. So I really do think the Colts are going to have to score points in the second half if they're going to have success. But, I also am very impressed with the Colts defense right now. And
no question.
Darius Leonard leading that thing and the way that D-line's playing in the secondary. So, the Chiefs all season long have been running all over guys. And, Patrick Mahomes, 50 touchdowns, that's an impressive stat. But you got to remember that this Colts defense, the way they're playing, they've been playing at a high level too. So I'm anxious to see how it shakes out, but I do think the Colts are going to have to score in the second half.
And 2 guys in the secondary that I want to highlight played really well, Pierre Desir and then Kenny Moore. I mean, give me more Kenny Moore. He was unreal. Blitzing the quarterback, had the big interception. So it's been fun to watch this defense get better every week. And, I mean, this defense has been lights out the last half of the season. Hopefully they carry that into Kansas City.
Yeah, well, let's have a little history lesson here with the Colts and the Chiefs the last time that they
That was
played.
Jack's best subject in
history,
high school and college.
The history lesson, is this going to be you? This is going to be you? All right,
okay.
Colts and Kansas City the last times that they've met, especially in the playoffs, the Colts have that. They're winning that as far as the playoffs are concerned. There was a certain game you played, you did not play in this game in 2014. I know when I took this job, that was the game that I was told about as far as just the most electric feeling in Lucas Oil Stadium. Take me back to just being on the sidelines for that game.
It was. It was. I mean, it was honestly kind of a storybook game. I mean, we go out, play bad in the first half. We throw an interception in the second. It's 38-10. And I mean, some fans are leaving like early third quarter because you're down 28. Yeah. There were some Chiefs fans that were starting to get really loud. And then the comeback started, and we scored, and we scored again. And you kind of had that feeling. And I remember looking at somebody on the sideline early fourth quarter, and I'm like, we're going to win this game. At that point, we were down 14. But you had that feeling we were going to win the game. We held them to 2 field goals. They got to 44. We score 5 TDs. Andrew goes up top to TY for like a 70-yard touchdown, remember? And I have never heard Lucas Oil as loud as it was right there. We won 45-44. And so some Chiefs were on that team, some weren't, but the ones that were there and Andy Reid, and you know that in the back of their mind, that game is there and how electric Andrew Luck is, how good he is, and the elite quarterback he is. And so the Chiefs can say what they want this week, but to me, there was no doubt they were pulling for Houston to win on Saturday. They didn't want to see Andrew Luck and that high-powered offense coming into Kansas City.
Well, 2014, Chris Ballard was in Kansas City. Okay, now he's on the other side here. How much do you think he's sitting in those rooms trying to give maybe little tidbits about really a team and a roster that he helped build in Kansas City?
Well, I know, I'm sure he knows a ton about the organization, and I'm sure there are some holdovers, guys that were there the last time, but I also know that Chris Ballard has a lot of trust in his coaches and the way that they've prepared these guys and this team to this point. So I'm sure he's saying, listen, just be who you are, be you, continue to do what you've done, and let his coaches prepare the guys the way that they've been preparing all season. He knows if they do that, they're going to have success. The talent's there, the camaraderie is there, the culture is set. There's nothing special. There's no magic bullet that Chris has or that anybody has. He knows that his guys are up for the challenge, and I'm excited to watch it. I'm sure he is too.
And that's got to be neat for him. Going back to Kansas City, where he spent a lot of years, and he helped build that team. I remember playing them the year they were 2-14, right? And then him and John Dorsey rebuilt that team and got him into a perennial playoff contender where now they're the #1 seed in the AFC, but now, he gets to bring his Colts team in there, after winning 10 out of your last 11 and have a tremendous season. So got to be cool for him, and hopefully that can help give us a little bit of advantage, him knowing some of the strengths and weaknesses of those Chiefs personnel.
Will the third time be a charm to get an edge in the Hall? Still ahead, I catch up with the 2019 Pro Football Hall of Fame finalist, Edgerrin James. Is this year the Edge finally gets the call to the Hall? We'll get his thoughts and hear from number 18, who called James one of his favorite teammates.
Colts playoffs are presented by Verizon.
Papa John's offers 2 large 2-topping pizzas and a 2-liter for $20. Promo code BLUE22. 10% of discounted price donated to Riley's Children's Foundation.
I'm Morgan Lucas of Lucas Oil Products. At Lucas Oil, we take pride in developing products that work for you and your needs. Lucas Oil Complete Engine Treatment is for gas or diesel engines. You can use it in your motorcycle, snowmobile, tractor, boat, nearly anything that has an engine. You can add this product at an oil change or in between, either way. Unlike some other products on the market, you don't have to change your engine's oil after using it. Lucas Oil is proud to be made in America and sold to the world. Lucas Oil, it works.
Where do I go for personal service that's local?
Easy.
IMCU, Indiana Members Credit Union. For car and home loans or even credit cards, I get expert guidance
from someone I know and trust.
The service and advice are always excellent.
We've been IMCU members for years, and we will be for life.
Time for a new vehicle? Get pre-approved with no application fee at Indiana Members Credit Union.
For all your lending needs, choose
IMCU, Indiana Members Credit Union.
Bullseye Event Group's VIP Colts Tailgate presented by Hayes & Son is at every Colts home game at the new Bullseye Event Center across the street from Lucas Oil Stadium. Open premium bar, all-you-can-eat food by Food Network celebrity chef Aaron May, who's featured on diners, drive-ins, and dives. Bullseye Event Center is 9,500 square feet of event space with 3 retractable glass garage doors that open up to decks and green space with dramatic views of Lucas Oil Stadium and the downtown skyline. For the best game day experience, visit bullseyeeventgroup.com.
At Huntington, we're always thinking of ways to help customers. So when we heard they needed help tracking spending, we invented the Tighten Up belt.
Great choice on the couch. And as long as you're getting the couch, you should consider getting the matching chairs, as well as this beautiful end table. You look like a credenza lady.
We'll just take the couch.
Okay.
Then we simplified. Presenting Huntington Heads Up. You set the monthly amounts you want to spend on shopping, and we'll send you a heads up to keep you on track. Looking out for you by looking out for your money. Huntington. Welcome.
From the Huntington Bank Studio, this is Colts 365.
For the third time in 4 years, former Colt Edgerrin James is named a finalist for the Pro Football Hall of Fame. The running back spent 7 seasons in the blue and white, headlining some of the most memorable moments in Colts history. So is the third time the charm for Edge? We caught up with the former Colt great when he stopped by the playoff game in Houston and asked him if he thought this year was the year his bust could find its place in Canton.
It's a process you really don't understand, so you just let everything work itself out. You know, for me, I just patiently wait my time, you know, so it'll work itself out.
Patience is hard for some football players, not others. I know you learn your patience maybe running a little bit, but when you look back at your career, to be able to get this type of nod from the Hall of Fame, to be a finalist, what's that mean? I mean that's one of the goals you set out to do. You know, you set out to be able to be one of the finalists and actually get in, but you know, you do all you can do, and now it's out of your hands. You know, the stats are not going to change, and you just let the process run its course. You see some of your teammates speak up for you, say you should be in there, now that when you get that support from your teammates, what does that mean in this type of environment? Well, it's always good, you know, and that's the reason you develop those relationships, because they understand you, they understand, you know, the things that it takes to get there, and they know you better than mostly everybody else, you know, so it always means a lot that you have the players pushing for you, because the players have a big voice.
I always bring up Edgerrin James as one of the best teammates, if not the best that I ever had, because he was so unselfish. He took more pride in his ability to pass protect, catch the ball out of the backfield. He never missed an assignment on knowing who to block when a team was blitzing. It's a little thing, but it just tells you how much pride he took in his craft. Not to mention the fact that you hand him the ball and you watch him do these incredible things. You take his incredible physical skills with his toughness. He was an awesome teammate, great player to play with, no-brainer, in my opinion, for the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
Kickoff from Kansas City is just minutes away. So coming up, Marlin Jackson is back with the keys to the game in this AFC Divisional battle. How can the Colts go 1-0 and advance to next week's conference championship? We'll have those answers next.
A message from your local Meijer. Local sports are a victory for our entire community. Building leaders, teaching integrity, sparking our economy. That's why Meijer is proud to sponsor local sports throughout Indiana. Because when we support the home team, we all win.
Are you a news watcher?
We watch you every morning.
Oh, wow.
Well, you guys have got great news every morning.
We'll give you the real deal news from a real person's perspective. I try to be just as frank on the air as I am right here telling you what's really important.
Where do I go for personal service?
That's local, easy.
IMCU.
Indiana Members Credit Union. For car or home loans, or even credit cards, I get expert guidance.
From someone I know and trust.
The service and advice are always excellent.
We've been IMCU members for years, and we will be for life.
Right now, you can get up to $1,000 off closing costs on 15-year fixed and adjustable rate mortgages at Indiana Members Credit Union.
For all your lending needs, choose
IMCU.
Indiana Members Credit Union.
This is The Middle, a place where people come together, look each other in the eye, and get to work. Where people believe in more, like they can always do a little more, give a little more, and find ways for their families to have a little more. We were born and raised here, and for over 80 years, we've done whatever we can to help people have and do a little more.
Are you a news watcher?
We watch you every morning.
Oh, wow.
We you guys have got great news every morning.
We'll give you the real deal news from a real person's perspective. I try to be just as frank on the air as I am right here telling you what's really important.
It's now time for the Forum Question of the Week. When was the last time the Kansas City Chiefs won a playoff game at Arrowhead Stadium? The last time the Chiefs had a home playoff win, 1994. Forum Credit Union, helping members live their financial dreams.
From the Huntington Bank Studio, this is Colts 365.
Hi, I'm John Corbin. Huntington Bank is proud to be the official bank of the Indianapolis Colts.
Welcome back to Colts 365. Marlin Jackson back on set with us here for the Speedway Scouting Report because it's the best 8 teams. It's it is that divisional round. Yes, it is so fun. This is one of my favorite weekends of the season, just as far as the teams that are there. And this season, we get to talk about the Colts, and they're taking on in just a few minutes the best offense statistically in the NFL. So when you look at this matchup, let's talk the Colts defense for a minute. What do they have to do to be able to get after this offense?
Up front, the pass rush. We have to create pressure.
Yeah.
We have to stop the run, make them one-dimensional, understand when they're going to pass the football. But with that rush, there has to be great coverage on the back end.
We've seen that.
We got to see Kenny Moore continue. Yeah. Kenny Moore, I want to see more picks.
Yeah.
I want to see more big plays. Pierre Desir, I want to see you continue to shut down receivers.
Man.
Our ball hawk, Malik Hooker, he's going to have to make some big plays in the passing game. I feel like he can be a difference maker in this game. Why he was drafted to go after the ball when it's down deep down the football field, that's what they do. They're going to take their shots at Tyreek Hill down the football field. They're going to take shots to Travis Kelce. Can Malik Hooker make some big plays for us in the secondary?
Well, it's been fun for us to watch this defensive back, the secondary for the Colts, because for you, I always like to pick your brain and ask you about them just because that was your bread and butter. That's where you kind of made your living. But they have been almost like the secret assassin for this Colts defense. We've seen the guys up front. We talk about Darius Leonard, but I am excited to see what this secondary can do against Patrick Mahomes and that offense who love to pass the ball. They love to get it down the field. The Colts are actually the top in eliminating big plays. So when you talk about this offense, I like the way that the defense looks. But let's flip the script. Let's go Colts offense because this is a matchup where there are 2 elite quarterbacks, Patrick Mahomes and his rookie. You were already talking about him in that way. But with the Colts, you got Andrew Luck. Marlon Mack is having a great year. The offensive line who's going to be out there. There's a lot of positives here. So what do they have to do to capitalize on this Kansas City defense that they don't rank so well?
31st?
Yeah.
I say I'll take that. 31st for 100, Pat.
Yeah.
right here. But on offense, the offensive line, you mentioned it. And the 2 guys that are affected by the offensive line, for me, is going to be the running game and getting off to a quick start, a fast start, scoring some points early so that we can control the clock through the running game to slow down that pass rush, to wear on those guys. And then along with our offensive line, Andrew Luck's pocket awareness. He's shown great escapability, the ability to extend plays, either sliding in the pocket, moving up, or rolling out. He's done all those things. So we're going to need his awareness to be at 110% this weekend. We're going to need the protection, the communication up front to be at 110% this weekend. We're going to need our best out of everybody this weekend to win this football game. But I think if we can run the football, control the clock, keep their offense on the sideline, right? Let our offense drive down the field, score points, get up early, neutralize that pass rush. I think we'll see great results for our Indianapolis Colts.
Well, the Colts and the Kansas City Chiefs just moments away from kicking off this divisional round of the playoffs. We hope you enjoyed the show. We tried to get you prepared from every single angle, so enjoy the game, and we will see you next week.